decline in academic warning signs of satanic behavior may be apparent, such as a sudden, bitterly antagonistic attitude towards family and religion, a drastic decline in academic performance, a reclusive behavior pattern, and listening exclusively to heavy metal rock music, almost to the point of addiction. When one or more of these warning signs are evident, you should look further for ritual items such as a pentagram or other satanic symbols, black or red robes, a decorative dagger or knife, a chalice or goblet, black candles, a personal diary with a black cover, which is called a Book of Shadows, and copies of publications such as the Satanic Bible and the Satanic Rituals, and possibly a small makeshift altar. If you discover items such as these, experts advise you contact your local law enforcement agency at once.
Devil worshiper Jonathan Cantero's list of equipment for the 12th of October. Teen devil worshiper Jonathan Cantero's list of equipment for the 12th of October. Knife and sheath, violent made for blood, plastic bag for left hand of his mother, small bag for money, handkerchief to cover mouth, jeans, t-shirt, a book of shadows. Teen devil worshiper Jonathan Cantero's list of activities for the 12th of October. Teen devil worshiper Jonathan Cantero's list of activities for the 12th of October. Go to school, leave at 11:45. Pull up at mom's house, enter greet mom. Go to bathroom, prepare knife and handkerchief. Go directly to mom, go directly to mom, go directly to when back is turned. Cover her mouth, stab until dead. Teen devil worshiper Jonathan Cantero's list of activities for the 12th of October. Teen devil worshiper Jonathan Cantero's list of activities for the 12th of October. Lord Satan, thou hast stricken this woman from the earth. I've killed the womb from which I was born. I have ended her reign of desecration on my mind. She's no longer of me, only a simple serpent on a lower plane. Teen devil worshiper Jonathan Cantero's list of activities for the 12th of October. Teen devil worshiper Jonathan Cantero's list of activities for the 12th of October. Teen devil worshiper Jonathan Cantero's list of activities for the 12th of October. Teen devil
Jackula, your favorite satanic streamer, here on YouTube for Titty and Trim Thursday. And I am here. We will eat your liver with some fava beans and a modestly priced Chianti. Oh, boy. Oh. All right. Let's see. Who all is here? We got quite a few people. We got Delta. We got Yoshi. He is in Saskatchewan. We have Final D, Doug Cross, Yellow Cerberus, Blast Action, Jason Takes a Megal, and that's the way of things. I gotta tell you, like, a little late today because I had to pick up some medication and they fucked it up. They fucked it up, so I had to go back and get them to give me the right one. And let me tell you, the difference between a okay trip to the pharmacy and a 20-minute exercise in frustration is two incompetent people. So we have like one, the person who's ringing me up is fine. But this one other pharmacist who's like the senior or whatever, is this one of these people that like just doesn't think? Which makes it really bothersome that they're filling out medicine prescriptions. You know, but like I feel like this is a person who always has the right answer as long as the system works. The minute the system breaks down, this person is lost. You know, it's like they know what buttons to press in the right sequence, but if the button goes down, they don't even know what to do, and they don't even seem to realize that there's anything that they need to do. So it's sort of like button 1, button 2, button 3, but button 3 don't work. So it's like, it didn't work. So I just push the 3 buttons again. And you're like, that didn't work. Push the 3 buttons again. Well, that didn't work either. One of those buttons must be broken. And they're like, it should work. And you're like, yeah, but one of the buttons is broken. It's not working. They're like, well, should work. Oh, I'm sure it should work, but it's not. So why don't we try something else? Well, this should work. Okay. So they got to call the manager over. So the manager finally comes over, and they're like, yeah, we got a problem. It's this. And they're like, oh, yeah, do this. And then, yeah, push those 3 buttons. And then they walk away. And it's like, but the buttons don't work. The buttons ain't working. And so the person ringing me up has got to go hunt down the manager. And I'm like, there's no one in line at the register. There are 3 people here in the pharmacy. What is the manager doing that's so fucking important? Manning the photo booth? No one's there. Like, when was the last time you saw someone using the photo booth at, like, a fucking pharmacy? I guarantee it's been a while. So it's like, all right, well. So they find the manager. And then a 10-minute futzing session begins. And they're just futzing around doing something. Who knows? But after over, half hour or something, that, I finally got my shit, which was good. By the way, if any of y'all are on Advair, they now have a generic called Wixella. It looks like this. I thought they'd give me birth control pills or something at first. But nope. Apparently, there's now a generic of this. It only costs me $15 rather than $50.
If it's the Advair, it'd be $150 without insurance.
Yeah, Advair is $150 without insurance. So I don't know what that is without insurance. Hopefully a lot less. Oh, man. So, I'm a little, you know, hey, Winter Hex, how you doing? So I'm a little like, I don't know, perturbed, annoyed, you know.
Death is not the greatest loss.
Ah.
Greatest loss is what dies inside us while we're still alive.
So, let's see. Winter Hex. Oh, you just saw Housewife. Excellent. It's a very, very, very good movie. I hope you liked it. Have I seen the Joker trailer? I have. I have seen the Joker trailer. It looked okay to me. Yeah, Winter Hex says the Housewife was the shit. Thank you. I loved it. I loved it. I thought that movie was awesome. Should all watch it. It's a good movie. Yeah, there's a picture of my cat for some reason. What? What the hell? Sorry, I'm like I found myself on Facebook, and yeah, I'm just looking at stuff. By the way, like one of the things that I've been doing is I have been researching a lot of Sumerian mythology, and I keep running into Christian conspiracy channels. With these amazingly well researched Christian conspiracy channels. Now, when I say well researched, I mean from a mythological standpoint. Like they can track down shit through scripture. It's really kind of, it's actually very impressive. But then they always go into some weird ass territory. Like okay, get this. All right, so Lilith is a succubus who sometimes look like a snake. I just go with it. And this associates her with the Naga of India. All right, you with me so far? Okay, so she's drawing a connection between Lilith and the Naga, and you're like, okay, a little tenuous, but all right. Nothing too crazy. And this is why so many people in Calcutta have slit eyes and are actually snake people who work with the Freemasons, who are satanic. Now, I don't know if you notice the leap in logic there, as in leaping over a bridge of logic into the cold, hard waters below. But that was a thing. That's a thing that happened. That's an actual, like, video I ran into. So, if we've got nothing else, if we've got nothing else, I say we look into some of this stuff and see what we can find. You know, let's find some real crazy shit. All right, start. Let's see. The Mary Magdalene Conspiracy, Secrets of the Cross documentary, timeline, world history documentaries. Without Mary Magdalene's vision of a risen Jesus, there may never have been a Christianity, but why do the Gospels say almost nothing about her? I don't know. I don't know. That might be legit. Oh, wait. Wait. We got one here. Trial of the Knights Templar. Ooh. Okay, let's go to World History Documentaries, the page, see what we can find here. Let's see what we got. Was Cleopatra one of history's biggest killers? Check out our new website. All right, this might actually be somewhat legit. So we don't want that. Although I am interested in the trial of the Knights Templars. Should I find a conspiracy, or do you want to learn about the trial of the Knights Templars? You know, I'll leave it up to you. We either go with something that looks semi-legit, or we take a hard left into Crazy Town. We try to find Crazy Town. Someone was asking me about EA and BioWare. I can't talk about that. Believe it or not, I can't talk about that. I wish I could. Oh, God, I can't even hint at shit. Fuck. Sorry, can't talk about it. This is what happens when you know people in the video game industry. There's shit you can't talk about. Sorry. Sorry. I'll say this. Nothing in the article really surprised me. Let's see. Everyone seems to want Crazy Town, so can I talk about the Antword? Oh, I could, but I don't really know too much about it. Yeah, some sort of sex scandal, I believe. Huh. Scroll down for... Australian musician, blah, blah, blah. What is it?
Oh yeah, it's there's another Aussie rapper who basically accused Ninja of sex trafficking her.
Wait. Accused him of what?
Sex trafficking her. Taking her to South Africa from Australia.
Okay, in order to be her pimp?
Grooming, sexual abuse, intimidation, torture, and revenge pornography.
Okay. How's it look?
Hard to tell. It's a diss track so far.
Oh.
But she said he shared photos on the net, which would mean that there would be...
Well, I'm looking at some photos here, and they're not telling me a lot. I mean, there's a girl who I'm pretty sure is her sucking somebody's dick. Whatever. I don't think I have time to really learn about this right now. Like, this is something I have to learn. Hey, thank you, Mr. 13.
If snake people exist, I need to know. For science.
Okay. Yeah, I have heard about John Cho with Spike in live-action Cowboy Bebop. I think that's a great idea. Harold is Spike. I think that'll work. All right. Let's have some music while I look for shit.
Yesterday I heard you say you lost, but life has gone away. It got me thinking, I think I feel a similar way, and that's sad, that's sad. So let's make a decision, start a new religion, yeah. We're gonna build a temple to our
Hi, Cat.
orgiastic dances, nymphs chances, yeah. We'll be the envy of the gods above. I'm feeling devious.
You're looking glamorous.
Let's get mischievous and polyamorous, wine and women and wonderful vices. Welcome to the cult of Dionysus. We could take a holiday in the month of May, run free and play in fields of flowers, fancy hours, making love is how we'll pray.
Start a secret society for the wild and free. Or ideology, 'cause you can do what you want. Too much is never enough. We all
All right, here we go. Look, we'll start with this one. Because, well, let's see. You may want to read the last few chapters of Monster Musume. They're in the Lamia village. Oh, nice. All right. So let's... Yeah, by the way, you were listening to the Orion Experience, Cult of Dionysus. Yeah, big fan of that song. All right. So this is one of the videos I found last night. And it's going to start out pretty fucking normal. But at about 15 minutes in, see if you notice when things start to flip.
Hi all, this is Simona Rich, and in this video I'll read out my article about who is Lilith. Lilith is mentioned only once in the Bible, and that is in Isaiah 34:14, where the Hebrew word Lilith is translated as the screech owl. In the verse, Isaiah prophesies that she will be one of the demonic nocturnal creatures which will haunt the destroyed kingdom of Edom. The Hebrew word for the demoness Lilith is thought to be from the root word lil, which stands for night or gloom. In Arabic and Akkadian, this word stands for night as well. However, it is believed by some researchers that the name Lil comes from the more ancient mention of Lilith in Sumerian language, in which this word Lilith stems from the root word Lil, which stands not for night but for air. And in some cuneiform inscriptions, the terms Lilitu and Lilith stand for the disease-bearing wind spirits. According to the same source, the first time that we find this demon mentioned is at around 3000 BC as a class of Sumerian storm spirits called Lilitu. Quoting from the New World Encyclopedia, the Lilitu were said to prey upon children and women.
All right, I want to point this out. This little statue that comes up, that's not a Lilitu, that's Pazuzu. That is very specifically Pazuzu. You know, so she's wrong on that. This is not a Lilitu, that's Pazuzu.
And were described as associated with lions, storms, desert, and disease.
I'm looking up the lions part right now, so I got nothing on that, but everything else is correct.
trails of Lilith are known as having Zubert's talons for feet and wings. Later accounts depict Lilith as a name for one figure and several spirits. Similar demons from the same class are recorded around this time frame. Lelu, a succubus, Ardat Lili, Lilith's handmaid, who would come to men in their sleep and beget children from them, and Irdu Lili, the succubus counterpart to Ardat Lili, so incubus and succubus. Babylonian texts depict Lilith as the prostitute of the goddess Ishtar. Similarly, older Sumerian accounts state that Lilith is called the handmaiden of Inanna or hand of Inanna. The text say
Now that right there is also something I'm looking up right now. If this is the first time I had ever heard that I had ever heard Lilith being referred to as the handmaiden of Inanna. Possible, but I have to verify it.
That Inanna has sent the beautiful, unmarried, and seductive prostitute Lilith out into the fields and streets in order to lead men astray. Identical to the Babylon-Sumerian Lilith, the Akkadian Ardat Lili and the Assyrian Labartu presided over temple prostitution. Ardat is derived from Ardatu, a title of prostitutes and young unmarried women, meaning maiden. Like Lilith, Ardat Lili was a figure of disease and uncleanliness. In the Gilgamesh prologue, we find one of the earliest mentions of Lilith. In it, she is identified as a demoness that has her nest in a tree. Inanna, who planted the tree, came back to it after 10 years to look after it, and then found out that the three creatures have made the tree their habitation. When Gilgamesh found out about this matter due to Inanna's plight, he killed the dragon occupying the tree, and another inhabitant, the Zubert, fled with its young to the mountains, and Lilith destroyed her nest and escaped to the wilderness.
All right, I have to look up the story, but the this right here, this picture of Gilgamesh fighting the what was it, the Anu bird, the Anzu bird. Yeah, that's actually, she actually has that correct. That's actually the correct depiction.
And by the way, if you want to check the references from where I'm getting all this information, you can go to my website, to the link that's shown on top of this video, and then just click on the source links and you will find out from where I'm getting all this information. There are different sources that I've gotten all this information from.
Yeah, I have not verified them yet. Working on it, but I get kind of busy, so there's so much research I can do in a night.
So just check them out if you wish. Although the myths about Lilith were present in many different cultures from ancient days, it was only in the Middle Ages that Jews began to claim Lilith as Adam's first terrifying wife. Who
Now, this is something that I think is kind of interesting. Whenever you run into someone who says the Jews as opposed to Jewish people or the Jewish people, but specifically the Jews, you know that eventually something's going to go into crazy town.
fled from him because she refused to submit to him. The reason the story was invented, which happened around the 8th to 10th century AD, and this is gotten from the anonymous text that became really famous. The story became well known from this text, and this anonymous text was called Alphabet of Sirach.
Yeah, the Alphabet of Sirach is the main text that Lilith is mentioned in, and it was created as a midrash, which is it's a little hard to explain. But basically, Jewish rabbis, the Jew rabbis, would often, one of their jobs is to interpret the text of the Torah. And so occasionally when they find like a discrepancy, they're like, quick, we got to retcon this so it makes sense. and this is where the story of Lilith comes from, because we got those two competing we have the two competing like stories of creation. However, my suspicion is that that's not where Lilith originates. That is where she enters the Christian story.
This all seems like some Abrahamic apologist bullshit to me.
Yeah. It's something. It's something like how to put it. There are a couple ways that you can arrive at a name of a new spiritual entity that no one has ever heard of before. One of them is to do what the Jews usually do, what the Jewish rabbis usually do, which is, all right, quick. Like, they usually go the Aleister Crowley route. They try to figure out a linguistic and mathematical word that they can make up that sounds right.
They use the numerology of the Kabbalah to figure out a name.
Yeah, to figure out a name. Lilith is not like that. This is a word that kind of comes out of nowhere. You know, it's one of those like, what?
So, out of curiosity, is the person whose video we're dissecting, is she Muslim? She seems Muslim.
No, she's actually Christian. I think she's actually Christian.
Oh wait, is she one of them messianic Jew Christians? Because I see her putting the scarf on and shit, and I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Let me. I'm pretty sure she's Christian. Do you want to see? You know what? I never watched her intro video. Let's watch.
Hi all, this is Simona Rich, and in this video I decided to answer
so we can watch it in real time.
Some personal questions that readers had about me, and this will serve as an introduction to my new YouTube subscribers and new website readers as well. So it's going to be an introduction.
Okay.
Yes, no, maybe.
Oh boy.
Why? What's the?
I don't know how.
Hi all, this is.
I don't know how to describe this. Okay, this intro video is over a half hour.
Okay, so first of all, what is this called?
Okay, it's called.
Hi all,
her name is Simona Rich.
Okay, found her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, hold on. There's a video of her that says why I'm no longer a Christian and why I promote yoga and meditation.
Yes, but okay. Here's the thing, though. Now this Lilith video is 2 years old.
Okay.
And part of the reason we're doing this is, despite the fact that there's a lot of stuff worth looking up here, there's a definitive moment, don't blink or you'll miss it, where we go into Crazy Town.
Okay.
All right. So you good? You ready?
Okay, so wait, are we doing the Lilith video or the intro video?
Let's do the Lilith video.
Okay, so...
And then we'll look more into who this woman is.
Need to really quick...
We'll go on
a
journey of discovery.
Okay, so Simona Rich, Lilith, okay. Okay, demonology, who is Lilith, and where are you? Where should I start from?
4 minutes and 39 seconds.
Oh Jesus, is that all we're at? Okay.
Yep. Well, I feel like I have to point out every time she's very obvious, she's absolutely correct and absolutely incorrect. Like when she said, this is, when she put up a picture that was like, I'm talking about the Lilitu. And she puts a
and it's like, that's Pazuzu.
That's Pazuzu,
Now,
like,
true.
No mistaking that shit.
Now, true. According to some Babylonian sources, as well as Christian and Jewish demonology, he is prince of the foul beasts of the air. But he's also a curer of illness and sits on top of houses.
Yeah, he sits on top of houses. He also protects children.
And exorcises demons.
Yeah,
this is what he
protects children from Lamashtu. And this is what I got to look up. I got to look up if the numerology of Lamashtu lines up with that given for Lilith, because there is this specific, very specific period of time where Lilith can get your newborn kid. And you have to protect your kid against them, and it's different for females and males. So if you're a girl, you have like, oh God, where is it? I thought I wrote it down. Yeah, it's like 20 days. You have like 20 days from the moment you're pushed out of your mother where Lilith can like fucking get you, unless you're given a special amulet with the name of the 3 angels that confronted her.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Now, boys, it's different, which is anytime up to the point that they're circumcised, they're vulnerable.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe this except to say, look, ancient Semitic culture is fucking crazy. Like, even by ancient culture standards, it's fucking crazy. But what I will say is that there is kind of this thing across the board in ancient cultures where, like, oh no, there are periods of bad luck and susceptibility in your life. Really? When? Well, it depends. Are you man and woman, and when are you born?
Yeah.
You know. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Oh, no. We're not even getting into the Coptic stuff. We're not even getting into Egypt. You know, this is Babylonia, Samaria, Acadia, and you know what we refer to as the Mesopotamians, as opposed to the Egyptians.
Okay, so I'm assuming then that at some point during, you've seen this, and at some point during it, it goes fucking crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right.
And the reason that the story was invented, I believe, is in order to explain seemingly 2 creations of man and a woman found in Genesis 1 and 2. Some started guessing that the reason these 2 creations were described was because there were actually 2 creations. It's told that at first a man and a woman were created at the same time. So this story is told by this alphabet of Syriac text. However, they started fighting for supremacy the moment they were created. Lilith refused to submit to Adam and escaped the garden, and became a child-harming demon. As a result, another woman was created in the place of her. Although there are many opinions about why there are seemingly two creation stories in Genesis, in my opinion, at first, God created a spiritual creation. So he spoke...
Now, pause. Now we're getting into... This isn't super crazy town, but we're getting into, like, some real speculation here as to what shit could mean. You know?
Yeah, like, look, okay, you're thinking that maybe it's to explain why there's two different... or... Conversely, because even within the Jewish tradition, Lilith is apocrypha, even within the Jewish tradition. Even within the Jewish tradition, it's not canon.
Yeah.
It's like AU shit.
Yeah, it's expanded universe stuff, and it's also important to recognize the fact that whereas the Torah is by definition BC, right?
Yeah.
The alphabet of Sirach isn't written until around 700
AD.
1000 AD. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a great mystical innovation.
It's definitely like 1,000 years old from our perspective, but like.
Oh yeah.
But.
Now, here's the thing. I'm just like, okay, yeah, sure, it could be used to explain two different creations, or, as many people have pointed out, she's not the handmaiden of Inanna, she's the sister of Inanna, she's Ereshkigal, and she was pretty popular, and so you gotta get rid of that feminine divinity.
Well, yeah, that's part of my working, I guess, hypothesis. It's like, when you're dealing with this kind of stuff, like the scientific method doesn't apply as much. Which is annoying, because you're dealing with history, and history is not an exact science.
Yeah.
That, which I wish it was, but if it was, then we'd have time travel. You know, or
Oh,
at
I mean,
least the
you know,
ability
we're-
to look into the past.
Well, I mean, you know, don't worry, we're getting there. We made time move backwards for a short time in a quantum vacuum recently. We can do it.
Yeah.
You heard about that.
Yeah, but I don't know if we can make the camera before like there's everything again. If you know.
We'll figure it out. I don't know how, but and also, yes, Mahan, you are correct. Apocrypha, the original fan fiction. Yes, it is.
Yep. Yep. So this is where she first shows up, and she's about to get into some real speculation about what that means. And I just wanted to point out, yeah, we're now in the realm of we're about to get into the realm of her complete speculation. It's not Crazy Town yet.
Okay.
Everything into existence, but at first it was only spiritual in its spiritual form.
Okay.
And in Genesis 2, we read that of the actual manifestation of the actual creation of humans, the physical creation of humans. I know some disagree with this opinion, but that's how we understand why there are seemingly two creation stories in Genesis. Another reason why I don't believe that Lilith could have been Adam's first wife is because it's told that first humans were created in the image and likeness of Yahweh, and we see that Lilith is not entirely human because she has bird feet and wings. But the medieval speculations of Lilith's origins were not first accounts which made the name of Lilith more known to the Hebrew people. She was well known in this culture maybe from the very beginning and was feared by them for the very same reason she was feared by other nations, for her ability to harm, kill, and snatch infants. Israelis eagerly waited for the 8th day of the birth of a baby boy so that they would circumcise him and would remove the threat of Lilith. The baby girl was told to be no longer in danger of Lilith after 20 days of her birth. Sometimes infants would wear protective amulets until the days of harm would pass. In the land of Israel, as well as in other places in the Near East, there were found bowls with incantations written against this demoness as well as other demons. She is drawn in the middle of the bowl with bound hands or in chains, as it was believed that such a depiction of her would stop her from doing harm. Around her picture, magical incantations were written in a spiral. Such bowls, also known as demon traps, were buried upside down as it was believed that this would capture demons such as Lilith. Such bowls were buried under the threshold, in cemeteries, or in the homes of recently deceased. Most of such bowls are made against three evils: the evil eye, the Lilith, and the Bagdana demons, which are sort of like Lilith demons but stronger, and they have authority over Liliths. Such incantation bowls found in Israel were dated from the 6th century AD. Although this demoness was especially feared by new mothers, she was also identified as what we know today.
Yeah.
So wait, hold on. She's saying, hey, we found these clay Dybbuk boxes. We found these clay Dybbuk boxes, essentially.
Well, they're actually bowls, not boxes.
Dybbuk bowls. Fuck it, whatever. It's the same goddamn thing.
That's the same idea, yeah.
It's the same idea in function. It's like, you know, and it has Lilith's name on it. So, you know, demoness and terrible. Like, yeah, but wait, didn't you say it was from after the beginning of the development of Hebrew culture? Yes. But we're talking about a goddess from before Hebrew. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Are you not seeing the?
Well, yeah. Well, like, how to put it? Here's the thing. Oh shit! I fucked this up. All right. So here's the timeline on some of that, because I'm putting a timeline together. All right. So hold on. So the Lilith bowls start showing up around 6 AD. This is where they date back to.
6, 8. No. That is too soon to get an accurate reading on who this was originally.
Well, yeah. But it's weird because it's one of those things where it's like, okay, so these bowls show up in 6 AD. but the actual text that describes the entity doesn't show up until almost 1,000 years later. What? Like,
yeah,
this...
that just sounds to me like you demonized a goddess, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
much
yeah,
later,
yeah.
and then
Yeah,
and then
because if you're making bowls with this shit, then people have to know who the fuck they're making the bowl for. You know, like that means Lilith is already known by the turn of the first millennium. You know, but it's not written down until 1,000 years later. That means that whoever this is based on is so popular that everyone just knew it. You know, like they just knew it. So it has to be one of the major goddesses from the area, or maybe a cognate of like a couple of them. You know, because otherwise you don't make up a an amulet against Satan unless you know who Satan is. You know, and Satan's actually potentially a really good example of what I'm talking about. Like Satan's only mentioned in the Bible like 4 times.
Yeah, and even I'm looking at okay, now I'm looking
at the Bible, not just the Torah. He's mentioned 4 times in the Bible total, and one of those is speculation.
Yeah, and it says here the earliest development for Lilith as this demonic figure in Jewish mythology is the Babylonian Talmud, and that wasn't.
Yeah.
That was like between 3rd and 5th century CE, i.e., AD.
AD, yeah. That was like 3rd century. So So this whole thing is really weird. You know, the where this idea comes from is very strange. You know, it's much like it's much like my research into Baphomet, which I put on pause to do this because I was just getting to a point where I was like, like I'm fucking looking up Mithras. I'm fucking, you know, I was just about to move on to like Egyptian fucking shit, and then I realized, okay, what I really need to do, because it's the big fucking starting point for the image of the goat of Mendes, is look up the stuff surrounding Jacques de Molay and the Trial of the Templars. Because
that'll be fun.
Yeah. And
if you need help with that, just ask, by the way.
I am gonna need help with that because there's a lot going on there. You know, there's a lot to track down, and that's the most irritating part of it.
So
it's like, oh, so it said in blah 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 that they went into a cave and they and you're like, okay, great. Who said this when? They're like, oh, it was this guy, and you're like, okay, is that a real guy?
Who cares?
You know, it's like, oh, you know, just take our word for it. We're the Catholic Church. How about I not do that? Because if someone found a major heretical cult, even if it was fucking false accusations, there's gonna be a letter trail.
Now,
there's gonna be a fucking letter trail because some inquisitor somewhere has got to write that down and go like, by the way, Pope, I killed these 12 guys.
So this is the thing that gets me. Okay. Now about what we're watching right now. The thing that here's the thing that gets me about this. I'm like,
okay.
To me, it's quite obvious that Lilith is just a demonized version of Ereshkigal. This just seems very obvious, especially considering that all the fucking classical depictions that they're like, this is Lilith. You're like, that's a statue of Ereshkigal.
Yeah.
She's queen of the underworld and prostitutes and the sister of Inanna or Ishtar. This would be why she's associated with Ishtar. She's also the sister of Utu. That's how this works.
Yes.
My question is, how the fuck do you get all this shit out of that?
Well, that's the question. That's the question. I'm actually looking for the moment. I'd like to be able to track myths down to as far back as possible so I can see what the evolution was, because it's one of those. It's like I'm forming a personality profile, but first I have to hunt for what the personality is. You know, because this, I don't know why this stuff really fascinates me. You know, because you find,
because it's interesting.
It is interesting, and
It's interesting.
And there are gods and major spiritual entities that exist that point to a truth that a lot of people fucking are uncomfortable with, and that is this: multiculturalism isn't a new fabrication; it's the order of the day.
Yeah,
We have
that's
been
how we
doing
get.
this not for centuries, but millennia.
Yeah,
We,
no, that's
like, oh my god.
This is how we get from the fucking This is how we get from the Mithraic Gorgon Bowl to Baphomet. This is how this happened.
Yeah. This is how this stuff happens. Well, it's also potentially how a god from how an angel that is worshipped in Kazakhstan mutates and becomes a major figure in the Vedic faith. Yeah. It's super weird. Because you're like, because it's one of those things where it's like, the more you look up King Peacock, the more you get the more you become convinced that it's related to Krishna. That
in some manner or way. You're not exactly sure how, but it is.
Yeah. The biggest problem, the biggest issue that we have, like, confirming this stuff is the fact that the Yazidi are the keepers of Malek Taus's cult. And they don't let a lot of people into the caves where he is worshipped, where the image of him, like the real one, you know, is kept. And when I say like the real image, that it's they deal with that image in the same terms as, was it the you did a video on it, is the Jati?
I'm sorry, what?
Okay, you know how there are those 3 sculptures in this one temple in India that only Indian people are allowed to see?
Oh, yeah, it's the it's in the city of Orisha, and the only way I'm going to ever get to see them is if I go there in the summer for the Rath Yatra, where they get taken out. And yeah, it's Lord Jagannath and his brother and his brother and sister.
Yeah. Okay. The image of King Peacock is in for the Yazidi is like that, except he never leaves the cave. Yeah. So no one outside of the cult has seen it, but one of the interesting things about it is that most of the Yazidi people are members of the cult. Most of them get to see the visage of King Peacock, but
very few of them go, "I'm not okay with this," and leave.
Yeah. Very few of them, and none of those who have seen it have described what is inside.
Because they've agreed not to.
Yeah, because they've agreed not to. And that's one of those, like... So, first of all, you have to realize that the Yazidi is a very small ethnic group. Like, there are only, like, a few thousand of them. You know, because if it was any more than that, someone would have said something.
Correct.
You know, they're also very isolationist. But I am suspecting that as time goes on, we will eventually get a description of what is there because so many of them are having to leave the area because of ISIS. You know,
I've never necessarily, how to put it, I've never necessarily been one to praying to Egyptian gods. I think their stories are cool. I've never been one to pray to them. Same time, part of me wants to go, oh great queen of the magicians. Maybe you could like send a fireball. I'm just saying they're blaspheming your name. Maybe you could send one.
Just do.
Just
Yeah. I know what you mean, right? You know, but like one of the other things that there's so many weird things that are going on right now, and it's one of those things where like my in 40 years, the entire, you know, I don't even know what to call it. Like, I hesitate to call it the academic occult world because that sounds way more highfalutin than it is. You know,
and yet it's an accurate description.
Yeah, it's the only description I can come up to. Just as Aleister Crowley did for occultism in the 20th century, within the next 40 years, there's going to be another major revolution. There's going to be another major shift.
Yeah, there is. It's going to be interesting.
Too much stuff is being shared right now for it to not be that way. You know, wait for, like, look, India's working really hard to get online. So is China, so are parts of the Middle East. And once that happens, once they got like that, and once everyone got that broadband, there's going to be a huge fucking change in occult thinking. You know, there's going to be a huge change in it. Like, there can't not be.
Well, hey, I mean, the good news about all this is, hey, this gives you to look forward to something for your 80s and me to look forward to something for my 70s.
Well, yeah, how to put it. You know, the way I look at it is I don't look at things like the broom fondling magic thighs from fucking Hitchhiker's Guide. I look at things from the perspective of deep thought. Which is, look, we're not going to find the real truth for a very long time. So until then, you can keep yourself on the gravy train by arguing with what I'm going to come up with. You know, like I'm like, no, that's the real thinking right there. You know,
so I'm legit curious though as to where this is about. I get the feeling that this video is about to make me reach for the tinfoil to put on my head, so I'm curious.
Yes. Oh yes,
I'm curious.
Especially you, my friend. Especially.
Oh God. Okay, tell me when to go.
Demon who steals sperm of men sleeping alone and impregnates herself with it to give birth to hybrid offspring. She is believed to be the mother of hundreds of demons.
That's an illustration.
Lilith could be either male or female according to the Jewish understanding. On one of the incantation bowls found in Nippur, we read, "Thou Lilith's male Lily and female Lilith, hag and ghoul, I adjure you by the strong one of Abraham, by the rock of Isaac, by the Shaddai of Jacob, by Hashem, or by Yah Hashem, by Yah his memorial, to turn away from this Rashnoi and from Geyonai her husband. Here is your divorce and writ and letter of separation sent through holy angels. Amen, amen, Salah, hallelujah." The male aspect of this demon is also found in Akkadian and Sumerian mythologies, which identify Lilu as a masculine wind demon. Interestingly, the father of Gilgamesh is listed in the Sumerian king list as Lilu. In one translation of the king list, Gilgamesh's father is identified as a phantom. Lilu, this male wind spirit, was told to disturb women in their sleep and had the functions of an incubus, so the same like the female aspect of this demon. So maybe Gilgamesh was born from the union of a woman with this demonic shape-shifting entity. On another incantation bowl we read, "Salvation from heaven for Dadbei, the son of Asmandu."
I'm very interested in this idea that, like, you know, Lilith might be involved in the legend of Gilgamesh. You know,
now that I think about it, so yeah, I could see her like being like Gilgamesh's stepmother or something like that.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
I could
yeah,
see,
yeah, yeah.
I could see this.
Yeah, yeah. It's just one of those interesting things where it's like, I mean, how to put it. The symbology is the metaphor is obvious. He is a man of two worlds. Therefore, he is on the hero's journey because he's from two worlds.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. Heracles is not original. The Sumerians did it first. What's your point, Simona?
All right, let's continue.
And for Sherkoi, the daughter of Dada, his wife, and for their sons and daughters, and their house and their property, that they may have offspring, and may live, and be established, and be preserved from demons, devils, plagues, satans, curses, Liliths, and tormentors, which may appear to them. The tradition of making bowls with magic incantations against demons, as well as wearing protective amulets, probably came from Babylon, where such items were found as well. In Babylonian myths, Lilith is depicted as a winged night demon preying on pregnant women and infants. She might be associated with the invention of abortions too, though there are no reliable sources about claiming this to be the case.
Now, I do want to talk a little bit about this idea about Lilith being associated with abortions, which at first seems like a real stretch. But when you think about it, not necessarily, given that she is already involved in crib death.
Yeah, it's weird though. Like, does she provide a source for the idea of like, oh yeah, the Babylonians totally considered Lilith a demon? Is there a source for this?
No, there's definitely not a source for that.
Where?
Yeah, like, well, it's when you're dealing with. Here's the problem when you're dealing with Babylon in the modern context. The Babylonians absolutely had good gods and bad gods, helpful spirits and menacing ones.
They were all kind of dicks, though.
Yeah. But the Babylonians didn't kid themselves. There was only one god that they really liked. That they were like, oh no, this guy, he's awesome. We love him. That is Marduk.
Well, yeah, because he's the slayer of Tiamat.
Yeah, he slays Tiamat, and he is the founder of the city-state of Babylon. He's awesome.
He slits Tiamat open and rescues all the other gods in all the universe.
And he was on the real Ghostbusters.
He was also on C-Lab 2021.
That's right. If I have some food, there won't be any room for Marduk, slayer of Tiamat. You know,
it's like no, I'm better off out here. Isn't that right, Marduk? That's right. Pills, Pillhead. You're fucking awesome.
I already know that. But yeah. I first ran into the Legend of Marduk because of Real Ghostbusters, because in one episode you're following this homeless guy for like a little bit, and he keeps shape-shifting, and you're like, what the fuck is up with this guy? And all of a sudden Egon's like, I know who you are. You're Marduk, the ancient Babylonian god of the city. And he's like, oh, okay, you found me.
I've been trying so hard not to do it.
So hard not to be noticed, but you found me. Hey. And they're like, why are you in Manhattan? And they're like, hey, look, I've been wandering the earth for a couple thousand years, and I'm Marduk, the ancient god of the city, and there ain't no city in the world like New York. And I'm like, you kind of sound like Joey Diaz, actually. And I fell in love with that idea that, like, Marduk is just, like, this, like, old fucking Brooklyn guy.
Well, how to put it, it's very, you look at that and you're like, someone read Neil Gaiman's American Gods, didn't they?
Oh, no. No, they didn't. Because
really?
This predates American Gods by, like, 10 years.
Oh, shit! Oh shit! I forgot how recent.
Yeah. Real Ghostbusters was older than American Gods, you know. And I was amazed. Like, how to put it? There were two people on the writing staff of the real Ghostbusters that are responsible for the majority of the mythological references that are made. And one of them is J. Michael Straczynski, who a lot of people didn't realize was a writer for Real Ghostbusters. But Real Ghostbusters was one of the few cartoons that was written during the period of time when cartoons did this, where they actually had the name of the writer on the episode description. You know, so when it goes da 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 da, and there's that fucking Ghostbuster symbol, it says,
Yes.
you know, Night Games, written by J. Michael Straczynski or whatever. The other one was, fuck, I gotta look it up. Hold on. Let's see. Wild Cards authors. It was one of the Wild Cards authors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and. Oh,
Speaking
God,
of which,
what
after
was her
we
name? Melinda M. Snodgrass. Melinda N. Snodgrass
Okay.
also worked on Real Ghostbusters, as did J.R.R. Martin, George R.R. Martin.
Nice.
Yeah,
By
basically,
the
so many people in like fantasy and science fiction that got real popular in the late 90s, most of them worked on Real Ghostbusters.
well, what can I say, man? Hypersigils are real.
Like, oh my God, I love, okay, my favorite George R.R. Martin thing ever, more than the books, more than the stories, although without them, you can't appreciate this bit, is when John Oliver's like, you want to see pandering? We've got George R.R. Martin and a Skype call. George, how you doing? I'm killing two of your favorite characters.
God bless
God
George
damn
R. R.
it,
Martin.
man. God damn it, man. You're fucking brilliant. I
God,
still
God,
remember
God
when
bless him in that little peasant cap. I love him so much.
Oh my God. Well, I still remember when the first Game of Thrones came out. You know, my buddy Dave comes over and he's like, Jack, you gotta fucking read this book. And I'm like, why? And he's like, I can't explain. It's just amazing. And I'm like,
Okay.
all right. So he gives me a copy. It sits on my shelf for a couple of years. Eventually, I'm like, all right, I'll check this out. And I start reading it. And I get to the point where the whites, like, they build up this dude in the prelude. And you're like, all right, here's our hero. And then the whites just kill him and eat him. And I'm just like, I wasn't expecting that. Okay, what else you got? By the time Jamie Lannister pushes Bran out of the fucking window, I'm like, I'm reading something here.
I love this.
This is amazing. And by the time they cut off Ned, at the end where they cut off Ned Stark's head, I was like,
I'm sorry, you did what?
yeah, it's like, what just happened? It's like, okay, who's the hero of this? And the answer very rapidly becomes history. History is the protagonist.
Yeah,
the history of this fictional world is the protagonist. Everything else.
But I want a clearly delineated protagonist and antagonist. Oh, well, fuck you then. This book is not for you.
That's not for you because this thing is based on the War of the Roses.
I think that's why I never really got into like really reading the books, because I was just like, oh, I know that.
It's a story that's based on a bunch of assholes fighting over who gets to be Pope.
Yeah, no, if it's
like,
because how to put it, if you ever wondered in your school library, like that big fucking thick book on the War of the Roses and the House of York, and you wondered who the fuck read this thing,
Yeah, yeah. But there's something there's something about these authors, like the Neil Gaiman, and it's really funny because when Neil Gaiman first started writing comics,
Mm.
one of the first things it reminded me of was the real Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Because this is before, how to put it, this is before like Sandman was
A thing.
the thing that everyone knows it as opposed to, hey, this is like, when am I reading this? I'm reading this when it was like, hey, here's a comic for y'all. Sandman, what's this about? I don't know. It's new. Some British guy. You like Alan Moore? Yeah. This is kind of like him. Okay.
All right.
So back in those days, like when I'm reading the what would eventually become Nocturnes and Preludes.
Oh God, back when shit was like printed on that shitty newspaper paper.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Even the collections were fucking printed on that shit. I still got them.
Y'all fucking people, y'all fucking like kids today with your fucking
acid-free paper.
With your acid-free high gloss, fucking like high-grade card stock and HD printer inks. Fuck you.
Yeah. Back in the days when we had these people called inkers, without whom that art would be literally unprintable.
Remember when comics were printed with really close dots?
Little dots, yes. The little dots, and then the little dots just got closer and closer and closer, and eventually we had digital printing, so it didn't matter anymore.
Yep.
But yeah, I remember that shit. Funny thing is offset printing still looks way better. I don't know why.
It just does, man.
Yeah, it just does. It's like
this is life.
Digital printing will do just fine, but offset, there's something about it.
There's a unique living okay. I think it's the same reason why we appreciate Zen art. There's a unique, organic, living component to it that, in its imperfection, cannot be replicated.
Yeah. It's one of the. It's, how to put it. It's not that you can't do this with digital printing. It's that most people don't. Because digital printing is, the reason people choose digital printing is because it's cheap, and the reason it's cheap is because it's fast.
Yeah.
When you do offset, there's a lot more care that goes into it. And so it creates a better overall product, but it doesn't go as quickly. That's why if it costs the same and you've got the time, go for offset every time. It just looks better. It just will look better. But if you're in a time crunch, fuck it, digital's good enough.
Oh, so I wanted to ask you, by the way. So have you been keeping up with season 2 of American Gods?
I saw that Baron Smetty's about to be unveiled.
Did you?
I saw the Madame Brigitte is with him.
Dude, I'm sorry. I'm just saying, fucking, okay. So I love how, I gotta get this out there. I love how bougie Thoth is.
Oh yeah.
And it makes total sense for him because of course he would. Because of course he would be.
He's the fucking, how to put it. He's the Thoth. Most intelligent of all the Egyptian gods, possibly of all the gods ever. But so disconnected from reality. He has to give Isis the key to his doomsday machine because he doesn't think he has the moral knowledge to know when
to not
use
it.
Yeah. He's just like, yeah, I'm not exactly, I don't really get this whole, like, attachment to life thing.
I'm not really good about things like this.
Yeah, I'm not really good about things like this. If there's a device, I tend to just use it, but that thing destroys the world, and I kind of want to test it out right now, and I've kind of learned that that's probably a bad idea. So here, why don't you have the key to it so that I don't test it?
But
why don't you just destroy it? Am I Thoth, god of destruction?
no, I'm god
No.
of magic, scribes, and technology and
Yeah.
math. Fuck you, I'm not destroying
Fuck you,
anything.
I'm not destroying anything. You know, it's like, oh, fine. It's like, who's our god of destruction? Oh, right, Sutek. Never mind, I'll keep the key. You know, because Sutek might just set that shit off.
Simultaneously, one night, fucking Set, Keck, and Shutek like sneak into the royal chambers and steal it and go. But oh god, but yeah, so I love it. But
oh my god,
but,
that was actually like, oh my god, that was actually a joke. There were a bunch of jokes that I made in a Scion game that I ran. Which Scion was White Wolf's like, you are the children of gods game.
Yep.
And a lot of it centered around Sutek, a Set. You know, and him going like and getting into like who he really was. You know,
Set gets a bad rap sometimes.
Set gets a bad rap, but the thing is that the one thing that I was really proud of was, so they have to fight in the kingdom of magic. So the climax of the whole thing happens in Disneyland. You know, because that's the prophecy. It's like in the kingdom of magic. You know?
God damn it.
Yeah. And as they're fighting everything, like Set apparently goes crazy, but he's for lack of a better way of putting it, he's really being Set, and so they're in Disneyland, they're in Anaheim, and they're fighting him, and it's a big like fucking. Like, there's a magic dome over fucking Disneyland. There are, like, reporters everywhere and all this shit.
Oh, shit.
Sutek fucking, like, appears. And he's, you know, and it's one of those, like, well, first he appears as, like, a kind of government agent. Like, a shifty government agent. And he gets mad. And he's like, you have no idea where you really are. You are in a place that has beaten back my domain. Before there were subdivisions, before there were orange groves, before there were grapevines, this was the desert. And the desert is mine. And, you know, and he fucking just gods out. And they you know, have a fight with him.
I'll be perfectly honest with you. Like, considering that Set originally is a Semitic god that was added to the pantheon and blah 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 blah.
No, not quite.
Okay, well, okay, because he was
god
who was worshipped by Semitic
people, and because the Semitic rulers were so unpopular, his nature was changed to reflect.
Yes. Okay, yes. So, but I'll be honest with you. With all that being said, if I, as that god, came to an area where not only did they push back and destroy the desert, but then also it was dominated by the presence of a really goofy anti-Semite, I'd be like, you know what? Fuck that.
Yeah, no, like, well, the whole and I was trying to make the allusion to both Thoth's doomsday device and Pandora's box. That basically they were the same thing.
Yes, please.
They were the same thing, and
well, I mean, the Greeks and Egyptians shared. This works.
Yeah. And the twist at the end was, you know, what's in the box. You know this. Hope's in the box. Why is hope kept in the box? So that it can be used when it's needed. And this is the moment it's needed.
Well,
like, they find Pandora, they find the box, and then it was Hephaestus's daughter Callidos, played by the Countess, who had to like unlock it. Because it's like, because I made it like a Lamarchand's box where she had to like fucking figure it out, and she's like, "Oh, I get it. This box moves in 6 dimensions. That's why no one else can open it." You know.
But I can.
But I can. You know.
Oh God.
And that's when, and this was the weird part. That's because we had a cast change in the middle of the story. A friend of mine had created a character called Monday, who was the son of Odin as raised by Set. And I was like, okay, how do you want to play him? And he's like, I want to play him like Brock Samson. And I'm like, what?
Bigger
like,
dolphin.
Yeah. It's like, I want him to be Brock Samson. And I'm going to be like Brock Samson. I'm like, okay, but I want you to know that you're going to have a spirit guide. And they're like, who's your spirit guide? And I'm like, it's the ghost of Hunter S. Thompson. He is your spirit guide. He is your mentor.
Oh yeah, didn't you like use that to like pull out a Cadillac out of somewhere at one point?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, the Cadillac. No,
Yes.
Cadillac was slightly different, although that is where I got it from.
I was about to say,
They had to
came
go
from
into the underworld, and
Yes.
they were being attacked by a giant red Cadillac shark. And Callida, the daughter of Hephaestus, decided that she wanted it.
Because who the fuck wouldn't want
She
that?
doesn't want a Cadillac, a shark that is also a Cadillac that is also a shark. Come on. You know, because Hunter S. Thompson kept referring to the red Cadillac that he drove through Las Vegas as the Great Red Shark. So she beats this thing into submission, and it's just their car from that point on. They also have the Bus of the Damned. And and an army of unearthly Shriners.
Shriners.
Yeah, like
in little cars.
Yeah, little cars. You know,
Yeah,
and because
I remember those.
You know, like the whole thing was called like Fear and Loathing in the American Dreamtime. You know, so I was just pulling all this wacky ass imagery out of everywhere, and of course, like the whole thing has to culminate with the birth of the new American dream, and that had to do with getting the ghost of
Hunter S. Thompson.
No, not the ghost of Hunter S. Thompson. The ghost of JFK and the ghost of Marilyn Monroe together, and then sacrifice them so that they could have this baby that would birth the new American dream. And that's where the story would essentially end, and leave it up for interpretation as to what happens next.
That's too perfect. That's literally perfect. There's nothing wrong with what you just said.
The other thing is that behind the scenes, behind half the things that were going on, is the Monkey King. That people they didn't realize it was him. You know, because I had determined that, look, anything that is in line with the weirdness of America is going to either be the purview of the Monkey King or Old Man Coyote. You know, and we didn't really get into too much. We got into Native American mysticism, but no one was like a child of Wasakajak or anything like that. So it wasn't like really necessary, like heavily needed. Yeah. So it wasn't really heavily needed. So I was like, okay, well, the Monkey King will just do like double duty on everything at that point. You know, because then it's like, hey, it's Old Man Coyote, but like the Monkey King's already a shapeshifter. So like, hey, is that Bigfoot? No, it's the Monkey King. You know, is that the Skunk Ape? Yeah, and it's the Monkey King.
Monkey King. Skunk Ape.
Skunk Ape. Yeah, but like no one figured it out.
That's great.
You know, there was even because the Monkey King was like their group mentor for a long time, so of course I had to kill him halfway through. Kill him. You know, because for a while they're wandering, they're like, oh my God, our mentor's gone. Then they have to go into the underworld like a long time after that. And they're like, okay, you get to the underworld, a letter arrives. And what is it? It's a paper monkey. I'm like, what is a paper monkey doing here? Calda figures it out. And it's sort of like, all right, I burn it. She's like, okay. It burns up, and it tells you to meet him in Hell's waiting room, which is very much like the DMV.
No.
And yeah. So they have to go to the heavenly bureaucracy. He's just waiting there, and he's like, "Oh God, took you long enough, Jesus, damn." How long was that going to be? I thought I was going to have to wait for the second coming of Christ, which isn't due till after the apocalypse, by the way. So that was going to be a problem. If I had to wait that long. They're like, oh, well, what do we do here? It's like, you got to find Pandora's box. You got to go down the river Styx and through the Eastern Gate, man. What else you got? What else do you think you got to do? Oh yeah, by the way, look out for Shriners.
What? Just go.
Yeah. But I mean, it was a pantheon of characters that was made up of the daughter of Hephaestus, who was the spirit of American ingenuity, the goddess of American ingenuity, who lived in Chelsea and was like a fucking sculpture artist, who was missing an arm and a leg. Mr. Monday, a man who his entire life has only worked for the United States government, only to discover that the people he really works for are ancient gods. He doesn't know how to handle that. Yeah. A Greek goddess who hates her dad Zeus so much, she decides to become Irish.
You know,
because it's actually written in the lore that like not Finn McCool. Yeah, is it Finn McCool? Or oh fuck, what's his name? The guy with the dogs.
Oh, McLear? No.
No, it's not Man McLear. Hold on. Let's see. Lou with a long arm.
He's also a sun god.
Yeah. It's in the lore that Lou will just adopt people. He's like, yeah, I'll give you the power of the warp spasm. It's cool. You just got to do everything you just got to do things in my name. It's all cool. It's all awesome.
Just spread the faith of me. There we go.
Yeah, just spread the faith for me. Everything's good. People will know that the Irish gods are back on the scene yet again. The Tuatha De Danann is back, baby. Are we going global? One of the others was, the daughter of Frey, who becomes the Nordic goddess of celebration. She was basically like a living St. Pauli's girl.
I'm cool with this.
Yeah. No, she was great, and she had a piece of Frey's hog, the one that turns into a boat.
Okay.
She has like a toenail clipping, like a clipping of his hoof. And what it actually is it becomes a golden key fob that allows her to take control of any vehicle. Like she pushes it, and a vehicle and the vehicle that she needs just appears.
Huh.
Yeah. So it's like, we need to get across the country. Cool. Click, click. All of a sudden, a limo pulls up and is like, where to? It's like, I just had the strangest impulse to drive you wherever you fucking wanted. She's like, that's so sweet of you.
Oh, how wonderful. Thank you, random stranger. Thank you
yeah, exactly. But when they were in the underworld, one of the things that they had to fight was Bob from the Church of the Subgenius.
God damn it, Bob.
Yeah. So Bob comes in his
fucking pipe smoking 1950s looking motherfucker.
Yeah. So he comes in his fucking ship with all the all his fucking like slackers and shit. And the Norse goddess of celebration just goes click click at the spaceship, and I'm like, okay,
it's any vehicle.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, roll for it, critical success. So I'm like, All right, it lands. And then she's like, oh, wait, that worked? Here, Kalida, you're the smart one. Take this. She's like, okay.
Correct option, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you recognize someone else in the group as smarter than you, you give them the thing.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, this is your ship now. You now have a spaceship. And it looks like I'm like, no, this is like a Plan 9 from outer space UFO looking thing. You know,
Yep.
This is not Close Encounters. This is 50s B movie. You know, Gort comes out of this if you're lucky. Most likely, it's gonna be that guy, like, you know, the future is where we will spend the rest of our lives. That's what's more likely to be that.
Oh,
it was kind of crazy.
Oh my god. No, but the reason I brought all that up is that, okay, so in this new season of this show, man, just the fact that Anansi walks in and calls out both Thoth and Bilquis for not giving a shit about their people. I was just like, that scene got really fucking intense, and I was just like, I love this. I love everything about this. Anansi's my boy.
That's the interesting thing about that they did with Anansi, which is much like a lot of depictions of, like, you know, Old Man Coyote and a lot of other, you know, trickster gods. Especially the way Neil Gaiman writes them. It's like, no, we fuck around, but we actually really care about the people that we represent.
Those on high motherfuckers. That's a different story.
That's a different fucking story. Yeah, it's like, because that's the thing about tricksters, is they generally live among the people. You know, Old Man Coyote certainly does.
Like, it's really weird too, because, like, how to put it, like, this is going to be controversial, this statement, amongst the fandom of the show anyway. This is going to be controversial. Now, here's the thing. I think Bilquis, aka Queen of Sheba, I think she's a fascinating character. But I don't feel sorry for her.
Oh,
at all.
And the character in American Gods?
Yeah, no, not at all. I don't care if she doesn't get worshipped anymore. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, well, how to put it? She is a narcissist.
Yeah, plus how to put it? Whenever she says that she cares about her followers, I'm like, no. You care about your devotees the way I care about the box of donuts in my kitchen.
Yes.
You don't, you know, you how to put it? She always talking about how, like, oh, love and worship. I'm like, bitch, you eat people.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Oh, I gotta tell you really quickly, speaking of depiction of the gods, man, I don't know how else to say this. After 4 games, God of War got amazing.
Oh, you mean like with the whole Norse shit? Like
the way they do the Norse gods in that thing is fucking amazing. It's so spot on. You know, because at the end of the day, it's kind of nice to have a group of gods who are just like, oh my god, we don't care about your Greek, I am the creator of my own destruction bullshit. You know, we don't fucking care. We really don't care. No, you don't understand how little we fucking care. You know, it's like, oh yes, Kratos, who destroyed the Greek pantheon. Ooh, big challenge that was. Yeah, and you're like, damn, Norse gods, you don't give a fuck.
No, they don't. The Asir, the Vanir, and the Jotnar, because yes, I'm counting the Jotnar as gods.
Yeah.
Because they are. You know, they're just primal gods. I don't give a shit. Plus, how to put it? Yo, he's got donuts and he's been holding on us. What the hell? I will hold donuts from whoever I so choose. I am the master of the donut box. The decision is mine. Oh, but how to put it, man? Like, shit like the God of War game, though, and shit like that. How to put it? Okay. I'm so sick of people. Look, there's a difference between innovating a mythology, like how to put it, what Neil Gaiman does and what
Yeah.
Alan Moore do. Though what Grant Morrison does. These are innovations of mythology. There's a difference between that and then just not giving a shit about the source material.
Yeah. When you're dealing with the Greek mythology of the God of War series, it's kind of just, all right, and now you fight this god. And you're like,
wait a minute, that god's not like that. I don't give a crap.
Yeah.
You're gonna fight
So
him.
when you get to the Norse gods, it's weird because it's all of a sudden like they gave a shit.
That's strange.
It's really strange. Like the first guy that you run into, the guy that like helps you through the majority of your whatever,
Isn't it
Mimir.
Loki?
It's Mimir.
Oh, it's Mimir. Okay.
Yeah, it's Mimir. It may turn out to be Loki, but like as far as you know, for the longest time, it's Mimir. And he's like, "All right, who the fuck are you?" And you're like, "I'm Kratos. This is my son, and I don't like you." He's like, "Well, not too fond of you either, but if you need help, I'm the guy that knows all the oaths. I know all the languages. I know almost everything." And he is like, "Okay, why is Odin trying to kill me?" And he goes, "Note that I said almost everything." Look,
Odin is an enigma.
yeah. I'm stuck in this tree, so I want you to cut my head off and then find a way to bring it back to life. And he's like, "Okay, there's a witch that we met down there." And he's like,
She might.
If she knows the old magic, that'll work." And so Kratos cuts his fucking head off. Oh yeah, but before he does, he's like, "How long do you plan on keeping your son's nature hidden from him? The longer you wait, the more damage it'll do. It'll turn him bad. He'll hate you. Are you sure you want that? I'll be cutting your head off now." That's fair. Yeah. So he takes Mimir's head. You travel back down into the forest. You meet the witch, who's middle-aged, but like she's held together really well. And she does her thing. She gets really angry at Kratos at several points. But it's not in the like, "How dare you?" It's more like, "It's my house. You don't talk that way to me in my house."
In my
Do you
house.
understand? But she's really nice to Kratos' son. She's like, "Oh, hi, little boy. How are you? We fucking fought a giant. Did you now?"
Did you now?
And it turns out the witch is Freya. So when she resurrects Mimir, Mimir's like, "Oh. I didn't realize it was you. I would not have suggested they do this otherwise. I'm sorry." And she's like, "Just get out of my fucking house." Because Mimir is the guy that caused the war between the Aesir and the Jotnir.
What you mean the Vanir or the Jotnir?
The Jotnir.
Okay.
Yeah, because there was a mistranslation, and the Jotnir thought that Freya was going to come and marry one of them.
No, she wasn't.
And she wasn't. And they were like, "Oh yeah, I gave them exactly what they wanted. They want the some of the apples off the tree of Eden. That's fine, right?" They get there and they're like, "Okay, we'll be taking Freya now." And they're like, "Excuse me? We thought you wanted the apples of immortality." And they're like, "What are we going to do with that? We're already immortal."
We're more immortal than you.
You were more immortal than you. What the fuck? You're just the Aesir. We're the Jotnir. And they're like, Oh, wait, what? You're gonna take the goddess of, like, life? No deal. We can't do that. Well, you fucking promised. You swore it in blood, so now it's war. That's Mimir's fault.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's his fault. You know.
But by the way, I want to point out that if I were around, just because I'm this much of an asshole, if I were around in either ancient Greek times or ancient Norse times, I would definitely have been worshiping the Titans or the Jotnar. I would have been, because you know what? Fuck the Olympians.
I probably would have been a Vanir motherfucker. And as far
hey, that's
as,
fine.
Yeah, as far as the Greeks, I probably would have been a Dionysian cultist. You know, I would have been that guy who was sort of like, oh, you're letting us in the Pantheon one day. One day, motherfucker. It's gonna happen. Until
whether
then,
you like it or not.
Whether you like it or not, it's happening.
By the way, you want me to turn all the ropes on this boat to snakes? No?
No,
I'm gonna do it.
Too bad.
I'm gonna do it.
Too fucking bad. Like,
I'm gonna go ride a dolphin now. Fuck you.
Yeah. It's like, hey, you want to ride out on the sea? Want me to not curse you while you do it? It's like, you don't have that. Hey, Dionysus is my boy, and my boy is the nephew of Poseidon.
And the god of fishermen.
So
I can do whatever the fuck I want.
What's it gonna be, sea captain? What's it gonna be? Oh, look, we need to go to war. Oh, you do now, huh? Well, Sparta, what's it gonna be? You want me to bless your armies or the Persians? Don't matter to me.
I don't give a fuck.
Oh,
Persia's cool.
Persia's cool. You know, like, I could do that. No, they got heathen gods, and we're the people of Mars, and fuck you. We're the people of Ares, and fuck you. Like, okay. And then the Battle of Trepennemi. Look, 300 happens, basically. And 300 Spartans. And,
not the way that Frank Miller says.
Yeah. 300 Spartans and 10,000 slaves hold the fucking line long enough for the Athenians to get some fucking real shit done at the Battle of Marathon. You know, holy fucking shit, the Battle of Marathon. That's one of those, you've got to be fucking kidding me. They're like, all right, we're gonna fight the Persians over here. Oh shit, they're going 10 miles down the shore. What do? We're gonna run all the way there. We're gonna beat them again.
Yeah, it's like, hey, have you ever wondered why a marathon is called a marathon? That's why
it's called a marathon, and that's why a marathon is also 10 miles.
Yep. Oh, so I'm not sure if I told you this, but I finally wrote out the treatment for the Brave Little Viking as a story.
Oh.
Yeah.
I really wish I could find this the like little like Japanese animation that they did.
I think I'm in the right place, considering that the first two sentences in it are: a long time ago, there lived a brave little Viking. Every day, he would go out about the farm where he lived with his mother, swinging his wooden sword and holding his shield. Bring on the Jotnar and the trolls! Bring on the witches and the ghosts! I'll beat up any monster and send him home crying, the brave little Viking would say. I think it's going well.
Yeah, I think you're heading in a good direction. Okay, let's see. Anime about fairy tales. Let me see. There's got to be Cinderella. No. Prietar. No. Fairy tale. You know what? I really fucking should have seen that one coming.
And by the way, I'll tell you, while writing this, I had the opportunity to make the incantation for for the animate walking stick that beats people, I had the opportunity to make it something more dignified than Go Stick Go, but I didn't.
Go. Like,
But
no,
I didn't.
Like, yeah, it's got to be Go Stick Go. Otherwise, it didn't quite work.
Well, because okay, so how to put it? So I have it where, by the way, I describe the North Wind when he comes out of his cave. He's a giant of a man, as tall as a tree, as wide as a barn, with a thick blue beard rolling down past his waist.
Oh, the North Wind.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is how I've done this. But so when it gets to the point of him coming to get the stick, and he's like, "Ah, you did steal my grain and the sheep and the tablecloth. You're an asshole, North Wind." When it gets to that part, I have him, like the North Wind stormed out of his cave, his red face and his beard bristled with anger. "All right, boy," he thundered, his words whipping as tornadoes around the high hill. "I've had enough of this. I've been more than generous, and yet you still come here and insult me. I shall give you just one more token of goodwill." A mighty gust came out of the cave, carrying a fine carved walking stick, which the North Wind caught in his hand. "This is an unbeatable weapon," roared the North Wind. "It will defeat any enemy you face when you say the words.
Go Stick Go."
I refuse to believe that a child would not love this. I refuse to believe.
Yeah. Ooh. Maybe I found it. Hold on. No. What do you mean? Grimm's Fairy Tale Classics. All right. Let's see. Do. Anime. Grimm's Fairy Tale Classics. Aha. Grimm Masterpiece Theater. Wait, what? Oh, okay. This is an anime list. All right, hold on. DVD box. Hold on. Let's look for Viking. All right, let's look for North Wind. All right, come on. All right, give me the episodes. No episode information added to this. You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Also, I'm very happy that I got to write the words thwack, thwack, thwack went the stick. Ow, ow, ow went the innkeeper.
All right, let's see. This is Grimm Fairy Tales Classics. So let's see if we could find. Let's see, Grimm Fairy Tale Classics.
Hey, come along and join the fun.
All right.
It's a time
for fairy tales. Okay.
Oh God, that one.
Fairy Tale. Okay, hold on. Grimm's Fairy Tale Classics. Hold on. We might be able to. Let's see.
Is it a Grimm
Musicians
story?
of Bremen, Hansel and Gretel, The Frog Prince, Little Red Riding Hood, The Golden Goose, Puss in Boots, Snow White, The Six Who Traveled the World, The Water of Life, Bluebeard. Oh shit! I didn't know Bluebeard was in here. Joringle. What the? Jorinde? Okay. Let me see what this is. All right. I see a...
Yes, Mother, I'll be right there. Pardon me. I'll be back. Somehow I have to find...
All right, that's definitely not it. Let's see. Briar Rose, Old Sultan, King Grizzlebeard, The Naughty Spirit, The Worn Out Dancing Shoes, Cinderella, The Marriage of Mrs. Fox, Beauty and the Beast, The Magic Heart, Rapunzel, Old Woman in the Woods, The Faithful Watchman, The Wolf and the Fox, Hole, I know that's definitely not it, Six Swans, The Coat of Many Colors, Brother and Sister, The Four Skillful Brothers, Bear Skin, Hare and Hedgehog, Brave Little Tailor, Ren and Bear, The Water Nixie, and... Wait, is that it? No,
Hey.
no.
Hey, look, all I gotta say is, even though I'm pretty sure the fact that like a cheap little anime somewhere was made of this means that it's an old story and therefore in public domain, I'm kind of glad it's hard to find, because that means that if I try to get this published, no one will sue me.
Yeah. Grimm's Fairy Tale Classic. Brave Little Tailor. We have the Brave Tailor, but like...
I love the story of the brave little tailor. I killed 7 in one blow.
7 in one blow! Yeah. Brothers Grimm, King, Brave Little Tailor.
Oh,
Fuck.
by the way, would you like to know what I make the incantation to make this? Oh, okay.
Go stick, go. Let me see if I can find...
I swear to God, if that brings something up.
Yeah, I know. It's like the Fairy Tales Brothers Grimm 13 DVD bot. Whoa. Okay, hold on.
Wait,
Let's
what?
see. Yeah, Fairy Tales of the Brother Grimm 13 DVD box set. Okay, that's got to be more than 36 episodes. So, do we have a... No, apparently not. We don't have a whatever is all in here. Okay. All episodes of Grimm Fairy Tale Classics anime. All right, I got a better idea. Japan. There's a Big Bad Wolf song.
Yes, there is.
Okay, Grimm's Fairy Tale Classics. All right, I found a Wikipedia page. There are indeed more. Okay. Like, oh, really? North Wind. Grain. I am never. God damn it. I know. We got to be able to find this somewhere. Oh. Okay. Brave. All right. The Brave Tailor. What else we got? The Brave Tailor and the Brave Tailor. Okay. Viking Boy meets the North Wind. The Boy and the North Wind. Okay. I think we might be closing in. All right.
Oh,
the
shit.
Boy
Really?
and the North Wind. Okay. Let me see if that will. The Boy. Nope. North. Nope. God damn it. Okay. Okay. Boy. North Wind anime.
Wait a
Okay.
minute.
Legend of the North Wind. Legend of the North Wind. That doesn't look right. The Boy Who Went to the North Wind.
Wait. I may have found it.
What is it? What do I look for?
I found it, motherfucker.
What is it? What is it?
Type into YouTube classic folk tales gifts of the North Wind.
Gifts of the North Wind. Gifts of the North Wind. Norway.
Norway is one of the world's northernmost countries, and
Yes.
its freezing winters seem to go on forever.
What? Okay, I think this is
The
it.
north wind blows continuously, covering the forests and the lakes with a blanket of frost and snow. Long ago, a very poor woman lived alone with her son deep in the Norwegian snow forest.
Oops. Hold on. I accidentally lost Yogi. Hang on a minute. We're gonna get this back. We'll get this shit back on track. do this. We could do this. We could do this. All right, sorry about that. Got a little... Oh, Yogi now left the call. That's okay. We'll wait. What the fuck is this shit? Oh my fucking god, I can't believe this. Ah,
Yep.
you're back.
Yes. But yes, I believe I found it.
This is looking promising. So let's let us continue.
He was a good boy, and when his mother came down with a cold, he did as much as he could to help.
Yep, he sure did.
I want to point out, you've been looking for this for like how many years, and I found this in 3 minutes.
And every morning the son would go out to the
I'm pretty
barn
sure this is
to
it,
get a
but
bowl
one
full of
shot
grain
is
so that he could make
He's
bread.
gonna confirm it.
You see, they were
What
so
would that be?
poor that bread was about all they had to eat until springtime.
Come on, little kid.
In an instant, that cantankerous old north wind blew all of the wheat out of the sun's bowl and scattered it on the snow. Well,
right.
there was nothing he could do but go back for another bowlful.
All right, no wind. Now there's wind. Oh no! I got a better idea, kid. Why don't you take the bag into the house?
No.
No.
Come on, cut it out. I'm getting angry.
But no matter how angry he got, it wouldn't bring that precious wheat back. They were so poor that all the food they had left to take them through till spring was that one sack of wheat. He couldn't afford to lose any more. This time, for sure, he just had to make it safely
I love
from
him
the
shouting
barn to
give
the
it back,
house.
though, it's great.
Yeah.
Hey, Northwood, that's enough. Give it back. Give it back. Come on now. Give it back. I mean it. Hey, give it back. Give it back.
Yeah, he means it. It means it, man. Northwind's got to give it back.
Okay, that's it, you old windbag.
There we go.
Norway is the home of the ancient Vikings, and
What
some
was
of that
it?
warrior's
It's
blood
this.
must have still flowed. That boy, he knew no fear and marched straight for the cave where it is said the North Wind lives.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep, this is it. This is it.
Behold, for I am finder
Behold,
of
we
the
found it. Gifts of the North Wind.
I'm finder of the knowledge.
Oh my god. Yeah, look at him
But I'm
walk. He's walking.
I've noticed this though. This is definitely a dynamic in our relationship. Whenever you're looking for something for a long time and can't find it, I find it in 3 minutes,
This is
and
where
vice
the
versa.
North Wind
Yep.
lives. My, how brave.
This is how our
He's
shit
marching
works.
right into that cave. Brr.
Hey, come out. I dare you.
All right, cool. Then okay, when I send this to my professor, I can be like the brave little Viking, based on the
Gifts
Norwegian
of the North Wind.
based on Norwegian folktale, Gifts of the
All of a
North Wind.
sudden, the wind that seemed to never stop blowing stopped.
North
Cool.
Wind, I came a long way to see you. Now you let me in. What do you say?
You came all the way just to see me?
That's right.
And with that, the brave little Viking marched right into the cave. And then,
By the way, would you like to know the incantation I use to make the sheep give you money?
Oh,
this
what
was
is
the
it?
first time anyone had
Sheep, sheep, bond, bleat, lay some coins at my feet. Then you have to tell it exactly what you want.
Hmm.
visit him.
Yeah.
And the North Wind was
For instance,
delighted.
sheep, sheep, bond, bleat, lay some coins at my feet. 3 gold coins, please, said the brave little Viking. Hack, patooey, plop.
Teasing.
Ew, said the brave little Viking, as 3 spit-covered gold coins dropped from the
Why we
sheep's
so
mouth.
mean?
Here you go, mister, he said to
blew
the
away all
innkeeper,
our wheat.
whose eyes had
Now
gone
we
wide
can
at the
make
sight
no
of the
bread.
sheep spitting up coins. Rooms upstairs on the left, said the innkeeper, staring at the slimy coins in his hand.
Your wheat?
I defy
Get
you to
out,
find
we
me a 5-year-old
Don't
boy who
want
won't
that
laugh
to
at
eat.
that.
Yeah,
I
hope so.
defy
I
you.
hope so.
Tell Spring, come on now, give it back.
The North Wind was really
Oh.
a kind-hearted old gentleman, and when he heard this,
I'm sorry, I don't have any grain. But won't you take this, please? That's no ordinary tablecloth. It is magic. And whenever you get hungry, all you have to do is think of what you'd like, and it will produce it.
A magic tablecloth? Golly, thanks.
Oh
the
god.
little Viking was
I was giving
delighted
him the
with his
miracle
gift
cloth.
and quickly set
Yep,
out for
give-
home to
give
show his
miracle
mother.
cloth.
But night
It
was
does the
already
thing.
falling, so he decided to stop at a roadside inn to spend the night. A mean-looking old lady answers his knock.
If you
What is
want to
it?
stay here, you'll have to pay in advance.
But the landlady of that inn was known to be the stingiest and meanest lady in the land.
The meanest
Oh, this'll
lady in
get
all
you to the
the
storeroom.
land
No
there.
food. Understand?
As
The
you
little
do.
Viking had been marching all day, so as soon as he
Storerooms
got to
and
his
shit.
room, he decided to give the magic tablecloth a try.
Tablecloth, tablecloth. Spread me a smorgasbord of banquet fit for Vikings.
Food!
Just like a
I love
dream
that.
for
Him
the
just being like,
boy. He who had never had a full stomach in his life. Uh-oh. The stingy landlady has seen the whole thing.
What is it with stingy
Later
landladies?
that night,
I don't know, man. I don't fucking know, man. I do know
what a
that
mean old lady.
I
She
do
had
know that in
placed
my
the
story
North
the
Wind's
innkeeper has a
magic
mustache
tablecloth
that he twiddles
with her
around
own
because
ordinary
why the
people.
fuck wouldn't he?
The next day, the little Viking returned home just as fast
What a
as he
mean
could
old
so he
lady.
could show his mother the North Wind's present.
Tablecloth, tablecloth. Spread us a smorgasbord of banquet fit for a Viking.
Smorgasbord.
What? What's happened? Come on, please. Come on, just a little, please.
But of course, it was not to be. The boy grew angrier and angrier and
You
then set
step
off
on it,
once more
kid.
to have it out with the North Wind.
That's funny. That shouldn't be. Okay, tell you what I'll do.
It's a
Take
sheep.
this sheep.
Sheep.
Whenever you need any money, all you have to do is ask it.
Bah.
Bah. Yeah, get your sheep, kid.
But that day, too, it was growing late, so the
That's,
little
that-
Viking
that's-
decided
that's-
once more to
that's
stay
gold,
at the inn.
wool, and prostitution all at
That'll
one
be
stop.
cash in
That's
advance.
that is.
Okay, just a second. Sheep,
Sheep, sheep. Money for
Money
our
for our
sleep.
sleep.
Will that be enough?
Oh,
Will that be enough?
Oh look, it's got a fucking blanket. It's got a fucking rug and shit.
yep.
And do you know what that stingy old landlady did that night? That's right, you guessed
What?
it. She replaced the magic sheep with
Sheep?
one of her own.
Sheep are not animals that you can just pick up.
No, I don't know. She's just able to do it. She just,
You can't trick me again. Your tablecloth of sleep only worked once, you old
It shouldn't
windbag.
be at all.
That shouldn't be
Be
at
at
all.
all.
I don't need any more presents. Just give me back our grain.
That's impossible. I don't have any wheat. All I have to give you is... Oh. This is a magic stick. All you have to do is say, go, stick, go.
Go.
And it will start smacking your enemy until you tell it to stop.
The little Viking had no choice, so he took the stick and started home. And once more, his path led past that
Maybe
inn.
take a different path.
Yeah.
Yoo-hoo. Aren't you going to stay here tonight, dearie?
I'd like to, but I don't have any money.
But what's that stick you're carrying? I'll bet it has magic powers like your tablecloth and your sheep.
And so it was to be that he would
All of a
spend
sudden,
another
the kid's
night at
like-
the inn.
Wait a minute.
He's
She's
starting
really
to
nice to me. She thinks I have
together.
something magic.
Why was that stingy
That
old lady
6-year-old
being
has had
so
an
nice
idea.
to him? He finally began to realize that both the tablecloth and the sheep had lost their powers after he'd used them at the inn.
Thank God the mass production of walking sticks was a thing.
Sound
Yeah, right.
Just sleep tight, my pretty. Now, the magic stick is mine.
Hold right there, I wasn't sleeping.
Go, stick, go!
Go!
Go smack her in the head. Yeah,
Ouch!
yeah.
Help me! Help me! Okay. Ouch! I'll give you back your old tablecloth and your sheep. Just come off that stick.
Do you promise?
Yes. Oh, yes, I promise. Just take off that stick.
Okay, stick, that's enough.
Stick, that's enough.
So the
Knock
little
that
Viking
shit
had
off.
his magic presents back at
Motherfucker, I'm the
last.
brave little Viking. I got a table on
Yeah,
stick.
yeah.
Fuck you.
You're gonna be the Jarl of this shit right here, man. You know?
Viking and his mother had all they could eat, and enough money to build a warm house, stout enough to withstand north wind's most furious blast.
Until a fucking couple of death metal rockers burned it to the ground 100 years later.
Thinking it was a church.
Oh my god. Okay, Gifts of the North Wind. That's what that dang thing is. That's what that dang thing's called. Okay, got it. That only took 10 years. Whoa.
For you.
No.
I'm sorry. I love you.
It's one of those weird things where like it was one of those things that was like on Nickelodeon back when they had like no programming.
And they were just like, put some shit on there.
Put some shit on there. Like what the kids won't tell the difference, and they were right.
Like this was like back when this was around the same time that the mystery of the Clockman started to be a thing, and people were like, what the fuck was that?
Clockman?
There was I remember I saw like a YouTube video about it where there was this weird Eastern European animation that got an English dub, much like this, but it was really trippy and involved like a wizard who came out of a clock to torment a girl who had broken a promise to him, and it